Hello and welcome to the Score ERP tutorial. In this video, we'll be walking through the complete purchase and sales workflow inside Score ERP. So let's get started. We'll begin with the stock module by first creating our products. Inside the item list, we click on Add Item. Our first product will be a keyboard. We enter the item code and the item name as keyboard. Next, we select the item group. Since this is a finished product that will be sold directly to customers, we select Product as the item group. Next, we define the unit of measurement. For this example, we'll use numbers. For the keyboard, we'll set the valuation rate to 50. Next, we enter the selling rate. We'll set the selling price as 80. Once all the required details are entered, we click Save. As you can see, the keyboard item is now successfully added and visible in the item list. Now we'll add one more product. Again, we click Add Item. This time the product will be mouse. We enter the item code and item name. The item group remains product. The unit of measurement will again be numbers. For this item, we'll set the valuation rate as 25 and the selling rate as 35. We save the item. Now both keyboard and mouse are successfully created and available in the inventory list. With the products ready, we can now move forward to the buying module and start the purchase process. The first step is creating a supplier. We click Add Supplier. The supplier name will be Blue Light Computers. We select the country as China. The billing currency is selected as CNY. For the buying price list, we choose Standard Buying. After entering all the details, we click Save. The supplier is now successfully added to the system. Now we can begin creating the purchase order. Score ERP allows items to be fetched automatically from supplier quotations, material requests, or purchase bundles. But for this tutorial, we'll be entering the items manually. We select the supplier as Blue Light Computers. Next, we define the required delivery date. Now we start adding the items. First, we select mouse. Then we add keyboard. As you can notice, the item rates are automatically fetched from the valuation settings we configured earlier while creating the products. For this example, we'll keep the mouse rate at 25. For keyboard, we'll change the rate slightly and set it to 60. Next, we enter the quantity. We'll purchase 10 units each of mouse and keyboard. Now we define the target warehouse. This specifies where the inventory should be stored after the purchase process is completed. We'll select Finished Goods as the target warehouse. Next, we add the applicable tax. We select China tax. As soon as the tax is added, we can now see the complete purchase total displayed on the screen. Once everything is verified, we click Save. Then we submit the purchase order. The purchase order is now successfully created. One of the advantages of Score ERP is the smooth document flow between modules. Directly from the purchase order, we can now create a purchase receipt without manually re-entering the item details. We click Create Purchase Receipt. As you can see, all the items, quantities, and supplier details are automatically carried forward from the purchase order. We now save the purchase receipt, then submit it. Receipt process is now completed. Next, we proceed to create the purchase invoice. Again, the data is automatically fetched from the purchase receipt and purchase order. At this stage, if the payment has already been completed, it's to directly enable the As Paid option. We can also select the payment mode and enter the paid amount immediately. But for this tutorial, we'll process the payment separately using a payment entry. So for now, we'll simply set the due date for the invoice. Then we save and submit the purchase invoice. The purchase invoice is now created successfully. Now let's process the payment. We can directly generate a payment entry from the purchase invoice itself, or we can create it separately through the payment entry module. Inside payment entry, we create a new entry. The payment type will be pay. The mode of payment is selected as cash. Now we select the supplier. We can fetch all outstanding invoices directly into the payment screen. This makes it easy to settle multiple invoices together. As shown here, the unpaid invoices are automatically displayed. We can define the allocation amount for each invoice. Once the allocations are completed, we save the payment entry. Then we submit it. Now the payments for those invoices are successfully completed. We can verify this by returning to the Purchase Invoice section. As you can see, the invoices are now marked as paid. Now let's check the stock movement generated by this purchase process. Inside the stock ledger, we can see the inventory entries created for both mouse and keyboard. The stock quantities are updated automatically based on the purchase receipt. We can also open a specific item and view its dashboard. For example, if we open keyboard and go to the dashboard section, we can see the available stock quantity. The system shows the stock available inside the finished goods warehouse. We can also see all connected transactions related to this item. This includes the purchase order, purchase receipt, and purchase invoice. This connected workflow is one of the key advantages of Score ERP because every transaction remains traceable and linked together. Now that the purchasing workflow is completed, we'll move forward with the sales process using the selling module. The first step is creating a customer. Add customer. Score ERP allows different customer types, including company, individual, and partnership. For this example, we'll create a company customer. Once the customer details are entered, we save the record. The customer is now successfully added. Next, we'll create a quotation. We create a new quotation for the customer. We now start adding the items. First, we add keyboard, then mouse. We'll enter a quantity of 2 units each. As you can see, the standard selling rates configured earlier are automatically fetched by the system. For keyboard, the default rate is 80. For mouse, the default rate is 35. We'll change the keyboard selling price to 90 while keeping mouse at 35. Next, we apply the tax. The quotation total is automatically calculated by the system. Once verified, we save the quotation. Then we submit it. The quotation is now ready. From here, Score ERP allows us to directly create either a sales order or a delivery note. For this tutorial, we'll first create a sales order. We click Create Sales Order. All the customer and item details are automatically transferred from the quotation. We now define the required delivery date. Then we save and submit the sales order. Now we proceed to create the delivery note. The delivery note manages the physical dispatch of inventory from the warehouse. We select the source warehouse as finished goods because that is where the inventory is currently stored. We save the delivery note, then submit it. The stock is now dispatched successfully. Next, we generate the sales invoice. Again, the item details are carried forward automatically from the delivery note and sales order. This integrated workflow minimizes manual entry and reduces operational errors. We save the sales invoice, then submit it. Now we proceed with the payment collection process. From the sales invoice, we can directly create a payment entry. Also supports payment requests before collecting payments, which can be useful for approval-based workflows or online payment integrations. For this tutorial, we'll directly create the payment. The payment amount is automatically fetched. We save the payment entry, then submit it. Now the sales invoice status is updated as paid. At the same time, Score ERP automatically updates the inventory quantities. This inventory movement happens automatically as part of the delivery and sales process. If we return to the stock ledger, we can see the outgoing stock entries. 2 units each of keyboard and mouse have now been deducted from the finished goods warehouse. Earlier, the stock quantity was 10 units. Now it has reduced to 8 units. The system continuously keeps inventory, accounting, purchasing, and sales data synchronized in real time. And that completes the full purchase and sales workflow inside Score ERP. From inventory creation and supplier management to invoicing, payments, delivery tracking, and stock updates, Score ERP provides a fully integrated enterprise management solution designed to simplify business operations and improve efficiency. Thank you for watching the Score ERP tutorial.